Hello, welcome to this special edition. Today being on the 9th of November, we are celebrating the feast of the Lateran Basilica. What is this feast all about? I'm wondering, you are wondering. I'm not alone on this program. I'll call upon Father Arthur to elaborate more about this feast so that you and I can understand and learn more about the feast. Stay tuned. Father, welcome to today's edition.
Thank you so much.
Right. Without wasting much of our time, Father, I would like you to elaborate more about the feast of today. Father, the Lateran Basilica, also known as the Basilica of St. John Lateran, is considered the mother church of all Roman Catholic churches around the world. Well, Father, give us some historical background of the Lateran Basilica. When and why was the Lateran Basilica built?
The Lateran Basilica of St. John is a very important cathedral and basilica in the Catholic Church because, first of all, it signifies the unity of the Church. Now, this basilica, rightly put in your question, has a historical background. So let's go back to the 4th century. This basilica was built on the Lateran Hill, and actually it gets its name from there. The Lateran Hill was occupied by a family that was working, a Lateran family actually that was working in the palaces of the emperors, of the Roman emperors. So it was built on that foundation, but also became the seat of the home of the Roman Pontiff, of the Pope. And since the Pope was residing in that basilica, it consequently became the Cathedral of Rome. And of course, when it becomes the Cathedral of Rome and the Pope is there, it becomes the mother of all churches in the world, in the Catholic Church. So it carries a very significant meaning. Let's move from the 4th century to the time that the basilica actually was destroyed. There was a time when the papacy moved to France, in a place called Avignon. There's a whole history about the Avignon papacy. So when the Pope moved from Rome to France in Avignon, the basilica remained deserted, so to say. And so it was destroyed by the fire, actually not once, but twice. But then later, around the 10th and the 11th centuries, the papacy was brought back to Italy, to Rome, but not to the original basilica as home of the Pope. It went to the Vatican. So around that time, let's speak in terms of the 12th up to the 16th centuries. Around that time, the Basilica of the Lateran of St. John was rebuilt and rededicated, first of all to St. John the Baptist, but also to St. John the Evangelist. But it still remained founded on Christ as the rock of the church. So it was rededicated to St. John the Baptist and St. John the Evangelist as honorary, to honor the two saints. But because of its significance in its historicity, this basilica remained as the cathedral of the Pope, even if the Pope was not living there anymore, because now the papacy had moved to the Vatican. And when the Vatican developed and was built and finished, completed around the 16th century, it became like the main home of the Pope, so to say. But then the cathedral, which is the seat of the Pope, remained in St. John Lateran Basilica, which is about maybe 2 kilometers away from the Vatican. Now, most of the liturgical celebrations and other meetings and other functions, church functions, have been held in the Vatican because of the size. Because the Lateran Basilica of St. John still remains small in size and so cannot house some of the celebrations that the church has had and still is yet to have. So the Basilica of St. Peter, right in the Vatican, has become like the main place where the Pope celebrates his public masses and other church functions. But the Lateran still remains the cathedral of the Pope. And the Pope, of course, as you and as our viewers know or might know, the Pope is the Bishop of Rome. That in itself should be able to tell you why this basilica is important and why today we have to celebrate the feast of the Lateran Basilica. It is the mother of all basilicas. The Pope remains, or the place remains the cathedra, or remains the holding of the cathedral of the Pope, and because of that, it acquires that significance, and everybody around the world feels the unity of the church because of the existence of the Lateran Basilica. Many years later, let's talk of around the 18th century. The Lateran Basilica has undergone refurbishments. Outside it has been refurbished, and the latest refurbishment that it underwent was the inside. It remains the seat of the Pope. It remains the cathedral of the Pope, and it remains the arch basilica of all basilicas. In Rome there are, or let us say in the church, there are 4 very important churches. They are all in Rome. The St. Peter, the Basilica of St. Peter, that is in the Vatican itself. Because of its size, most of the celebrations of the Pope, of the church, done by the Pope, are done there. In the Basilica of St. Peter, there is the Basilica of St. Paul, and it is believed that it is built on the tomb of St. Paul, just as it is believed that the Basilica of St. Peter is built on the tomb of St. Peter. Actually, not just believed, but these are built on the tombs of the 2 apostles. Then we also have the Basilica of St. John itself, the Lateran Basilica. Then apart from that, we have what is called the Basilica of the Mary Major. It is also a very important basilica in the church. But of all these 4 basilicas, the Basilica of St. John, Lateran Basilica of St. John, stands out, still remains the seat and the cathedral of the Pope.
What a wonderful and beautiful historical background that the Lateran Basilica has. I'm sure all the viewers out there, you are enjoying the explanation of the dedication of the Lateran Basilica. Father, but why is the Lateran Basilica so important to the Catholics?
The Lateran Basilica of St. John remains important, first of all, because of what we have already talked about. It is the cathedral of the Pope, the Pope being the Bishop of Rome, so it acquires that significance, and so it is important to the Catholic Church worldwide. But also, the Lateran Basilica of St. John is the unity of the Church. It is the mother basilica. Just like in any diocese, the cathedral, in any diocese around the world, the cathedral is the mother church. Here in Lusaka, the cathedral of the Child of Jesus is the mother church of all the parishes. So in the same way, the Lateran Basilica is the mother church. That's why it is called the Arch Basilica of St. John, or Lateran Basilica of St. John. It is the symbol of the unity between the church outside Rome and the Church of Rome itself. And when we talk about the Church of Rome, we mean the seat of the seat of the Bishop of Rome, who is the Pope himself. So apart from the significance of unity, we can also talk about what it reminds us of. Especially when we talk about the ecclesiology of the Church, the Lateran Basilica stands out. The Lateran Basilica of St. John underwent a lot of challenges as a structure. I just talked about the fire that destroyed it up to the ashes level, and it was rebuilt and re-adorned and redecorated, and so on and so forth. In a more spiritual sense, that significance talks about the suffering church. Okay, the church that goes through challenges of different kinds, but still stands because it is built and grounded on Christ. Before the Lateran Basilica was dedicated to St. John the Baptist and St. John the Evangelist, it was first dedicated to Christ, the Savior. Christ as the cornerstone, Christ as the foundation of the church, and later honored to the two saints. So, if the church goes through challenges that sometimes shake your faith, shake my faith, our hope is in the fact that nothing in this world is enough to completely ground us. The same way that the Lateran Basilica was grounded and later came back to life and is still back to life, we are all encouraged that even if we have all these things that hit against the church, all the troubled times that the church has had to go through and the church is still undergoing, nothing of this kind is enough to ground us. The church still stands and still continues as it is grounded on Christ the rock.
In case you have just joined us, we are talking about the feast of the Lateran Basilica that falls today on the 9th of November. Don't go away, continue watching our program. Father, how can this feast inspire Catholics to participate more actively in building a strong faith-filled community in their own parishes?
First of all, every Christian should feel duty-bound to be part of the activities of the church. We have so many places in the world, or in our country, in Zambia, where physical buildings of parishes have been built. And everybody is supposed to feel and be part of what is happening. But building the physical structures is not enough. We have to go a step further now to build the Christian community, to build the faith of the people that are going to be worshipping in those places that we are physically building. And this is not just the work of the priests or the bishops or the pastoral agents. It is the work of everybody. Every Christian has a part to play. Every Christian has a role to play to ensure that the faith of the church is sustained, that the faith of every individual that belongs to that particular parish is sustained. Not only that, I think this feast of the Lateran Basilica also calls us to have a sense of the sacred. What do I mean by this? When you walk into the church, you have to have it in mind that this is not a place like any other place. You walk into a supermarket. It's different from walking into the church. There has to be that difference. And how are you going to highlight that difference? It is the disposition that you have. We have some people that walk into the church or that will sit in church attending mass, but they will be like they're not even in church because of the lack of the sense of the divine, of the sacred. When we celebrate a feast like this, we should all be reminded about that sense, the sense of the sacred, the sense of holiness, which some of us still struggle to have. Simple examples could be somebody seated in church praying or attending mass, and they are busy chewing bubblegum or eating jiggies, or others are WhatsApping or whatever they are doing. That sense of the sacred is not there anymore. So when we are building the beautiful structures, we should also build our faith. And if we are going to sit in church and chew bubblegum, then there's something lacking in terms of building one's faith. First of all, your faith is not is not being built. But also the people that are around, that you are seated with, are being disturbed by your conduct in church. That sense of sacredness has to be restored. So this feast is very important for all of us, not just to commemorate the existence of that Lateran Basilica in Rome, but also to think about our own small basilicas, our own small parishes. How much are we involved in building the church? Sometimes we are leaving everything to just a small number of people in the parish, because those are the ones that have money. Those are the ones that are in leadership. Those are the ones that are always around the church. Let them do everything. But what about me? What about you? Are you a passenger or are you also a player? Unfortunately, we have more passengers in the church than players. Very few people are committed to building not just the physical church, but also the faith of the community in that particular parish. A lot of people are sitting on the terraces, waiting things to happen, instead of being part of the community, being part of the team that is making things to happen. So it is a challenge to every Christian to up their game, not just to belong to a parish by name, not just to belong to a lay group by uniform, not just to belong to a parish by attending mass, but by actively getting involved in all the activities of the church. If every member of the parish felt duty bound to be part of the mission of the church, a lot of parishes, if not all the parishes, would change physically, but also spiritually in terms of the faith of the community.
No, thank you so much, Father, for that wonderful explanation. Father, your last words to our viewers out there.
First of all, I want to encourage everyone to attend Mass today. Everybody should go to church. Our physical attendance of Mass and other religious activities organized in the church, first of all, signifies our being member of the church, but also our active participation in the life of the church. The church has a mission to accomplish on earth. The mission that is left to the church by Christ himself. Now, the church is not going to accomplish this mission if members of the church are not getting involved. So it's not just about attending Mass. Of course, they should go and attend Mass, but also to reflect on how actively they are participating in the life of the church. How actively are you participating in the life of the church? Are you just a member? I know some people who say, I don't have time. The only time I have is on Sunday morning to attend Mass. These other days I'm very busy. You always find time for something that you love. And if you love the church, if you love the work of the church, you find time for the work of the church. Sometimes many people want to treat the work of the church as a by the way, something that they will do when and if they have time. But that raises a lot of questions about one's faith, about their faith, about their being member of the church. So, in a nutshell, my last words are, first of all, attend Mass today. Very important. The dedication of the Lateran Basilica. Then secondly, question yourself, am I actively participating in the life of the church? Am I participating in building the church physically, but also in building the faith of the community where I belong? Or am I one of those few guys that are just there to destroy? You know, Bantu Amanga, you go there, pum, 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 you break. Bantu Amanga, pum, 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 pum. You go there, you go at the Smokes and Community meeting, you start disturbing the faith of the people. Am I one of those? Or am I actually participating in the mission of the church, the mission left to the church by Christ himself?
Wow. I'm glad, I'm happy, excited with this program. I've learned a lot. I don't know about you. Father has talked, and I wouldn't want to add up to what Father has said, because I'm also touched. Where do I belong? Where is my faith? What is it that I do at church or in the community? This is a big lesson to you and I. Let's attend Mass today and reflect on our life, the Christian life, the spiritual life. Where are we going? What is it that we are doing in the church? Today on this program, we were discussing, or talking rather, about the Lateran Basilica, which was the dedication that falls on the 9th of November each year. It has been a nice program. I've enjoyed it. Being your presenter, Mariana Banda, with my guest, Father Arthur Ntembula. For now, it's bye.